Welcome back to another Jackrabbit Illustrated podcast, brought to you by our title sponsor, the Kubota dealers of South Dakota. Whether it's tractors, mowers, utility vehicles, construction, or farm equipment, Kubota's got you covered. Now with 9 locations across the state of South Dakota, there's always a dealer nearby. Visit your local Kubota dealer today. Jackrabbit podcasts are also sponsored by Culver's of Brookings in Watertown, the home of the Butterburger, Jackrabbit Central, the best place to get your Jack's gear, and the best sports bar in South Dakota, Cubbies Sports Bar and Grill. Without further ado, here is the A-Team.
Ladies and gentlemen, well, not exactly the A-Team. We're sort of the A-Team. We got Chad because he's on everything, but special edition pod here tonight. Really excited. I called this penance because I missed the last couple, and man, I just felt like we had stuff to talk about, and I felt bad. So we're on tonight with a couple special guests. I got Chad here. This podcast, like all of them, brought to you by Kubota dealers of South Dakota. Tell you what, man, they've been so good to us, sponsor all of our stuff. Please take care of them, even though it's stupid warm out and I wish it was snowing. Someone will probably kick my butt for that, but the snow equipment, anything you might need to help move some dirt, do some digging in the spring, anything like that, Kubota will take care of you. There's some deals going on right now. You can go to kubota.usa.com, check out some of the things they got going on, some different deals, but Kubota innovates. Check them out. So, Chad, that said, thank you for joining last minute today. And anybody else that could. Have I missed anything? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Just had another one of those days at work. It was just, you didn't do what you thought. It was a Monday on a Wednesday. So that's always kind of strange.
I did nothing today and I'm just fine with that.
I basically only accomplished driving to Mitchell, setting up a computer for a new person, and coming home and messing with the computer for a different new person in the office, which none of these things are actually my job.
Well, you know what? At least you're here, and I very much appreciate that. So we got a couple of special guests on today. First one, Mr. Alex Parker, media personality extraordinaire. What's up, Alex?
How are we doing today?
Good. I've been looking forward. I'm glad you and I tried to connect last week to get on, and I just wanted to, chat football a little bit. Can you, we were talking before the pod that there's a lot of people that kind of jump on, with the Natty coming up and we get a few more listeners and whatnot. You want to just kind of talk your year with everybody and what you've been up to?
Yeah, for sure. So, help with the radio side of things, also with Midco this year, but I guess I'm a financial advisor by trade or by day down here in Sioux Falls, but over the past 5 years, I've helped Tyler Merriam and the crew with the color analyst side of things. And this year, kind of taking a step away from that, and then actually took a couple games from the Western Oregon and the Northern Iowa game and jumped on Midco Sports with the team. So it's been fun. It's different. It's kind of fun to kind of expand what you actually do on a normal week-to-week basis. So it's been a treat to work with Tyler and just to see his the background and work that he has to do, and get to talk a little football on Saturdays. So
I'm curious, is TV or radio, is one harder than the other, or is there a big difference?
Big difference. I think, and Tyler has always said it, he is trying to be kind of the orchestrator to it all and kind of starts, talking about the play, right? Twins left, twins right, kind of explaining out what it is. And the color guy comes in and fills it in, right? So just trying to explain what exactly was going on. You can get more in depth and detail, etc. On the TV side, though, they can see it all. So really, it's just trying to rehash and kind of talk about it. So it's different. And certainly working with Tyler over the past 5 years has been easier to kind of get the feel and the read of when he's going to stop talking, when I'm going to start, and vice versa. With Tom Neiman, again, he's been around for 20 years of doing sports, and so it's been fun. But certainly a learning curve with trying to, do it as folks are looking at it and watching the play as you're talking about it.
Nice. Well, very happy to have you on. You're welcome absolutely anytime.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. So I said 2 special guests. The other one, so we were going to have Ryan McKnight. He's got stuff going on. And actually, I got my first choice here anyway. So we are Mr. Adam Fritz.
Otherwise, yeah.
Yep. JFPA, Jackrabbit Former Player Association. Adam, what's going on? Thanks for being here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Cool. So I think right away, unless anybody's got anything else, one of the things we wanted to jump into right away was talk JFPA a little bit. And you guys have both, Adam's currently involved. I mean, I'm involved too as a member, but I believe Alex was up until last year. Adam does a ton of stuff behind the scenes now. I guess, Alex, do you want to maybe explain to folks that don't know what JFPA is quick what that is?
Yeah, for sure. So Jackrabbit Former Players Association, about 2017, 2018, Ryan McKnight, the fearless leader, called me, right? So he's a lawyer by trade, and I was in banking at the time, and he had said, I see these other programs that are running these former player associations. It's the idea of his, number one, connecting former players back together, and two, trying to kind of come together in a common cause, so to speak, and being able to fundraise and just, get some dollars that can go back to the program, directly to the program, to help with those miscellaneous needs that need to be done, right? Whether that's new video cameras. That's kind of where we started back in 2018, I think is when that was. But it was, hey, basically cameras, right? Okay, well, let's go and figure out a way to get a membership group going. Year one, I think we probably had about 50 people involved in that. And then since then, it has taken off like a rocket. And I think Adam can probably speak probably more highly to the numbers that are coming in this year. But overall, it's been the idea of just trying to build a rapport with players that maybe have left. You see the recruiting landscape of everything going from East Coast to West Coast, and just trying to reconnect the brotherhood that was once there. And certainly the current team and the 2021 team in the spring season certainly helped take that off, getting people down to Frisco, being able to kind of join things together. But we could really see, so my tenure would have been treasurer, kind of helping McKnight set it up from the banking side. But I would say that first championship run is where we did this championship drive, and I'll let Fritzy kind of talk more on that. But ultimately, the idea behind the JFPA, it's a membership for the former players, just trying to reconnect, bring people back, donate to the same cause as DSU football. Some of the pieces that we've been able to do, as simple as some cameras, re-outfitting the Dyke House Center with, kind of the new makeup.
Yeah,
carpets paint,
and couches and paint and anything and everything, yeah.
The white helmets were a big need that the coaches needed and wanted it 2 years ago, and so we've seen that kind of take off. But really, it's those miscellaneous pieces that Coach Stig or Coach Rogers comes to us and says, we need this. But really where we've seen a lot of, I guess, traction has been at these championship games where we've inputted this championship drive, and I'll kind of let Fritzy take over from there.
Yeah, so like the first year that we went down to Texas was kind of the first year that I kind of got like more involved than just kind of regular member. I've been a Jackrabbit dude, I guess I'd say, ever since I was little. And so Jackrabbit meant a lot to me. So when the JFPA came out, I knew that was something that I wanted to be a part of. And so I told McKnight, whatever you need, right? I live close enough to town. I go to all the games. I go to tailgate. Like I do all this stuff. I said, whatever you need, let me help you do whatever you want. And so with Alex being the treasurer at the time, because he worked at the bank, and then him deciding he wanted to take a leave, and they said, Fritz, you want to be a part of it? I said, yeah, man, absolutely, what I got to do. And so jumped in, became a part of it, and just kind of ran with the group. But yeah, no, it's awesome. Like I said, it means a lot to me to be a former player and being able to be a help for whatever Jimmy and the boys need, right? Whatever they need, I can help try to do that. And even if it's some Excel wizardry behind the scenes, keeping track of information, right? That's what it takes. That's what I'll do. But yeah, so the first, first year we started. Yep. So the first year we started, the championship drive was that first year we made it down to Texas in the spring. We kind of came up with a thing. It's like, hey, we're going down there. This is an opportunity. Everybody's excited. We heard Alabama, right? How the first time we heard Alabama at home, right? So that was awesome, and everybody's excited. All the former players are all excited. Like, what can we do to try to get the excitement? Kind of capitalize maybe a little bit, if you want to use that word, on the excitement. And they said, let's try to raise some money up for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever it was, between the semifinal game and the finals, and said, hey, we're opening it up. Send us a check, send us a Venmo, send us a whatever, and raised some money. I don't know the numbers, to be honest with you, but we thought we had a great year, and said, oh yeah, this is great, this is awesome. And so then that was when we were able to go and buy some of the things that Stig wanted for cameras or blocking dummies or paint or carpet or couches or footballs or helmets or whatever the things were. That was the first, big check that we were able to give. So that was pretty awesome. And then the next year, obviously didn't have a championship drive, right? Didn't have the opportunity for whatever reason. And then last year did it again, right? And so set the goal of what we had again. I wish I knew the numbers. Like I said, McKnight knows them and Knudsen knows them better than what I do, but had the goal, exceeded it again because there's even more excitement, right? And because we knew that we were playing well. Not that we were surprising that first year. We were the 1 seed in the spring, but like we'd never done it before. That was a brand new thing. There were so many other things trying to figure out. And then the next time we went last year, obviously it was even that much more excitement. Well, then like going from last year and having all the guys come back again this year and have the excitement that we have had following through last year continue on and rolling into this year. Having that excitement just continue and rolling and snowballing into having the championship drive this year. We started a little bit earlier. We started kind of when the playoffs started through the month of December, so we had a little bit more time to raise a little bit more money. And I think the 300 plus individual donors that we've had some matching gifts that have been awesome. Challenges some classes to raise some money, and guys will match it if they get so many people in their class to join or how much money they get to raise. So that's awesome. This year will definitely be the most that we've raised in the 3 years that we've done it. And like I said, that's awesome to be able to raise some money for the football team. And Jackrabbit football players, they go back to forever. And everybody's got a love for the Jacks, and this is a way to, as an old guy at this point, right? As an old guy to be able to help, this is one way that we can go and do it, right? I can't run down and kick off anymore. I can't block a jammer on power turn anymore. I can't cover a post like I used to be able to, but I can give some money if I can. I can do that.
Well, and to put a cap on that, though, Fritzy, I think 2021 was close to, and this is all organic, right? For the championship drive, anybody and anyone can donate to it, right? So whether you are a former player or you are anybody else that's just a Jackrabbit fan that wants to support, anybody can donate to the championship drive, and it's as simple as going to the JFPA Twitter page. Hit the link and you can send a donation that way. You can also hit the Venmo up. Fritz, you'll have that one for you. But then in 2020, last year, we went over $75,000 in just organic fundraising of just bringing dollars into the program. So again, I think it's making a difference, as Coach Stig would always say, but ultimately, just to get this to the listeners, is the championship drives for anybody and everybody, and it's going directly to the program to just help the cause.
Yep. So like Venmo's at JFPA-SDSU. And so there's the white helmet that says Jackrabbit Foreign Player Associated right on it. So you can see the logo right there. It's similar to that. And like I said, that's something that anybody and everybody, if you feel like you want to be a football guy, I had a tweet a little bit before. It's like when we started the championship drive, and I said, like, are you a Jackrabbit person? Are you a Jackrabbit? That's what you want to do. You want to help the team. You want to be Jackrabbit guy all the way. Like, this is the way you can help Jackrabbit directly, right? Going through the foundation or giving for season tickets and stuff like that's all well and good, but that gets kind of dispersed in a different way, perhaps. But like JFPA's money is dollar for dollar. Whatever you give is going to go right to the football team.
Yep, that's important.
JFPA gets no cuts, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. And that's a good segue to start talking tailgating a little bit here, I think. So real quick, next sponsor I want to talk about here is Culver's of Brookings and Watertown. Again, great sponsors of ours. They've backed us for quite a few years. One of our favorite things, I don't think I've asked either one of you guys, Fritz, do you have a go-to Culver's meal?
I'm pretty boring. I don't like a lot of condiments or anything, so I just go straight into chicken strip basket. Chicken strip basket or a double bacon cheeseburger with fries and a cherry Pepsi.
So cherry Pepsi, okay.
Cherry Pepsi, that's
what I go with.
Yeah.
Love it. All right, Parker, what you got?
Man, I go with the chicken strips. I also have to typically get a double butter burger. I typically then also switch out for the burger. I don't do the pop, and I go for those concrete mixers. So I kind of go for it all.
Yeah,
fries, rings, or curry.
Never leaves. It never leaves.
All of the above, Chad. All of the above.
I love it.
Came on my figure, honestly.
Want to know lineman?
Exactly. That's exactly right.
Cool. So Culver's, make sure next time you're in Brookings, heading through Watertown, one of the two, please stop and check them out. Get yourself some custard, Butterburger, whatever it is. My personal favorite, I go with double Butterburger with cheese, pickles, ketchup, skip the fries, and then I usually get a chicken sandwich too. So I'm same thing. You skip the soda, get the custard. I may skip the fries and just get another burger sandwich. I'd rather. I don't.
Go lineman soon too.
Yeah,
D lineman,
dude.
or D lineman.
Dude, I'm keto right now. I gotta burn a few pounds.
Cheese is
right.
keto. Just take the breading off the outside.
Oh, exactly, dude. I had a burger. I had a burger with no bun for dinner.
Nice.
All right, so let's. So everybody, thank you for talking JFPA there. By the way, so again, anybody can donate. Goes straight to the football team. We can see. I mean, you look at the white helmets. You can see the things that the JFPA has provided to the program. So please give. You know where the money's going. All right. So from there, I want to move on and talk tailgating a little bit. Chad, not to throw you on the spot, but I'm gonna throw you on the spot. Do you want to? Do you want to talk tailgate a little bit? Just because I assume that you guys have covered in the last couple pods you were on.
Sure. Well, we had that tailgate last year. We had about 4,000 people, and we tailgated next to our friends, the Jackrabbit Former Players Association. Probably have a similar deal again this year. We're going to be on the east side. That's the home side for us, or at least the side we chose being the 1 seed that makes it the home side. In that grassy area on the south side of the parking lot. Hopefully, we're going to try and get some more porta potties lined up with the folks there at Toyota Stadium. And, we've got just a plethora of sponsors. We've raised close to the same amount as we did last year. And we've had some additional donations of a couple hundred pounds of pulled pork from a couple different meat vendors here in the state, Creekside Meats and Dakota Butcher. And so we're going to have more food and more beer than we had last year. So get there. We're taking donations also on our Venmo, the Jackrabbit Illustrated Venmo from individuals. We always caution people, just because you donate doesn't mean you're going to get food. Show up and get in line, and you probably get something. But if you twiddle your thumbs and wait till the end of the day, you might not. So we'll have plenty there. It's going to be a blast. We had a great time last year, and this year what's even cooler, and it's a new addition, is we're going to have like a Daktronics mobile big screen. And so even if you can't get into the game, like, show up. Just Frisco's a party. We're going to party at the local. You guys know what I'm talking about. We're going to do a pod live there too. We're going to party at the local. We're going to party at the Star. We're going to party after we win the national championship. We're going to have a giant video board that's going to broadcast the game during the game. So if you can't get in, come watch the game. I mean, it will be a blast. I don't know. Anything else you think I need to cover on that?
No, I think that covers it pretty well. We were chatting before, and we're not exactly sure where JFPA is planning to set up, but it'll be close nearby. Just look for the group of people that's about 4.5 inches taller than everybody else. And that's generally how you do them. At the last game, my daughter came with a couple of friends, which was awesome. And I was at the JFPA tailgate when she walked up, and the first thing that she said is like, "I'm used to this guy." Like, she came with one of her guy friends. She's like, "I'm used to him being tall, and he's really short now." And I'm like, "Yeah, you just kind of walked into the whole group." So.
Jim Pop makes a good point. All the extra money that we raise towards our tailgate, we end up giving to the JFPA, so they can use it to give again to the team to use for whatever their needs or their immediate needs they choose that they need to use that money for. And last year, I think y'all had you donated something like $75,000 check to the program, or was that the year?
Yeah, it was fairly significant. I think that might actually been the first year. I think last year might have been more than that. And again,
sorry.
Again, I'm not the guy.
I'm not trying to shortchange you.
No, absolutely not. No, I just McKnight would know for sure. Knutz would know for sure. They keep more track of that. And like I said, I'm more of a background guy.
Well, we said it on a podcast, so it has to be true now.
Yeah, perfect.
I do know that chugging a beer with that Fritz dude wearing his awesome sweater is one of the highlights of the national championship for me last year. So that was pretty rad. And maybe we can do that again.
Let's get a
Of course,
W.
he
Let's
doesn't
do it,
fit
right?
the height. He doesn't fit the height.
I stand on a pickup. I stand on a pickup or a
Like,
spool or whatever's there. I stand
out
up
of
on
all
top
of us,
that
I
so
think
that
he's
I'm
the
way
shortest. And I'm not tall compared to these other
That ain't
guys.
saying a whole lot.
The shotgun thing's a good point. I actually, next time you come on, Fritz, we need to start the show shotgunning a beer.
I'm for
Is
it.
that you game?
Sure.
All right.
Dude, whatever. I usually do it for wins, but I can do it for a podcast too.
Well, that's basically a
that
win.
shotgunning thing. Yeah, that shotgunning thing is so dumb. We literally, it was last year after the NDSU game. I was 23, 21 or something is what it ended up being. And I'm watching it in my garage, and like the game is tight. You know, you're tailgating right in the garage, and then the game's going. It comes to the end, and I was feeling pretty good about life. And I don't even know, like, it wasn't like it was pre-planned or nothing. I literally just grabbed a Busch Light apple, actually, which is what I happen to have. Gave my phone to my wife, and I was like, "Here, video this." And I freaking just like, "Hey, JFPA, fuck the bison," or whatever I said. I don't even know. I just said it, and then I put it on the JFPA page, and everybody went crazy. And I put it on the Fan Nation page because I thought it was a good thing to do at the time. Obviously, the NDSU folks did not appreciate it. SDSU fans thought that they liked it. Whatever. I put it again on this year after the NDSU game. People liked it. People didn't like it. I don't know.
Everybody likes it, and it is fully encouraged.
Good.
Now you got to do it all the time. That's just
so I've done it after every game. I've done a shotgun every win. So I mean, ever since then, right? We haven't, knock on wood, right? We haven't lost yet. So after every one, I've done it.
All right, so I'm curious though, we were talking about last year a little bit. Do you have like a standout favorite part, other than, you can't say winning, standout like favorite memory from the Natty last year?
Me?
Yeah.
What I thought the coolest part was at the end, with all the former players. I'm gonna get emotional. Sorry. We're all on the field, and the confetti's coming down. We're all there.
Yeah.
And that's pretty exciting for me.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome, just to see all the guys around that I played with, and you haven't seen them forever, right? That I live close, so I go to all the games. They don't live as close. They came down to Texas because everybody was there, and like I said, to be with Jason Obling and Eric Shorter and some of these other guys that you don't see all the time, like just have them be around and take a picture and watch the confetti fall. That was pretty awesome for me.
How about you, Alex?
I think an interesting, one of the, obviously winning it all, but I think prior to the game I was up in the radio booth, and NDSU fans were filling in pretty quickly. So you saw a lot of yellow coming in on that, I'd call it the west side then. Yep. But you could just see the sea of blue across the way on that green space that we were just talking about. And, you're getting to 45 minutes out, not many of the blue people have moved. And then all of a sudden, 15 minutes before the game, you literally see it looked like a river of blue coming in that east side over there. And then you blinked and it was just blue. And I guess from that perch or that level of just looking down and just being amazed at how many folks came from up north down there to support the team. And the crowd, just the crowd in general, just chills you got from just sitting maybe high above, not necessarily in the game, but just being able to view it from above. I think that was a moment I'll never forget.
Right. Because you're on that west side in the top, right, Alex?
Yep.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
So you
talked about that one. Oh, good.
Quite the perspective.
And also seeing towards that third, fourth quarter when NDSU was starting to leave. I always, there's two moments in the game that I really love to see, and that's one, when you start to see the opposing team fans leave because they know it's over with, and then secondly, the victory take a knee when you're inside the 20-yard line of the opponent's end zone. So
yeah,
I got to see that, so it was fun to see that.
So anything you're looking forward to this year as a civilian, or?
Alex, what is it?
Getting down into the mass of people. So I am not doing the championship game this year. Tyler and I talked, and I'm going to enjoy it as a fan and take it all in. Again, I let's just say when I went up there for pregame on that before the game, my voice was a little hoarse from the 2 days prior. So again, we're just going to carry that all the way through Sunday championship this time.
Yeah.
So a goal is not to have a voice by the end of the game, right?
Exactly.
Love it.
Jim Poppin, who was on there, Section 106. They know with I act like an idiot all the way through every home game, so you can about imagine how stupid I act during a championship game. So that's another Jackrabbit first down.
Yeah, you've seen me at tailgates. You know where I sit. I'm pretty sure everybody knows I'm an idiot during the game.
Yeah.
We'd have fun together, I feel.
Absolutely.
Chad, you're a celebrity at this point. I mean, you're a cowboy hat guy. Small children know who you are. You get sought out for pictures.
That is true at tailgating. And at the national championship, I am going to mix my two hats. So
what?
Yeah, we're gonna have a mix.
Don't mess with the good thing now.
No. For the game and for wearing around not at tailgate, I've got a blue cowboy hard hat.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What about you two? Give us your quick little. What was your one moment that you felt at the championship game?
Okay, so I can go first here. I think Fritz kind of took mine. So my emotion happened before that. I don't remember exactly when, but I lost my shit in the stands. Like I was full on just sobbing for a couple of minutes there. By the time we got to go down, I was just running airplane circles as a 42-year-old grown man on the grass. Yep, 100%. Just arms out, just running. I got a wind. It felt good. Just complete little kid mode. So that was awesome. I did enjoy as JI being a part of the FCS Fans Nation group, getting to see all the Fans Nations guys from all over the country and Rainbow Row and a couple of guys I hadn't met yet, so that was cool. And getting to see just the support, right, of just FCS football and just people that take it seriously and respect it and give it the credit that it deserves. So that was cool to see that. But God, just beating the Bison. And I know I told you guys you couldn't say that, but God, that felt good, right? That was just, having beaten, what did we beat them 4 times prior to that or whatever anyway, but just exercising the demons of just putting that to rest. Yep, that. How about you, Chad?
How many years did we have the second best team in the nation and lose to NDSU?
Exactly.
They're by far, at that point in time, they're by far the first best team. We very well could have been the second best team, but ended up the 4 or whatever, you know what I mean? And end up having to play them to try to get into the championship. That's just tough.
No, 100%. How about you, Chad?
I'm going to kind of piggyback off Fritz's. I actually did not sit in my seat the whole time. I ended up sitting with the Rainbow Row guys, and you all will remember Dustin, the Rev Helton, who's on here, wearing his bunny suit, right? And running across the field. And I did that too, and I wasn't the first guy down, but I'm pretty sure I ran a 4.440. At least it felt like it, right?
Can't prove you didn't.
Can't prove I didn't.
Exactly.
I was moving for a big guy, and I trucked some poor gal that was in an NDSU shirt. I was trying to miss her, and she got it, and I said, sorry. I wasn't stopping. There was no choice. This train gets moving. Anyway, but more than that was the emotions that I saw. I was down up front by all the players and seeing some of the former players I knew and just seeing all that emotion from all that hard work and effort and being so close and feeling like it's never going to happen. In a way, right? I mean, it was almost too surreal. Like, did this really happen? Somebody pinch me. For me, you can ask any of the guys that sat with me until the 4th quarter. I was no, the horseshoe up the ass of the Bison. Somehow they're gonna come back. It's 09. All these things coming back. It was just. We get a little bit of PTSD from having those things, but to see
also,
hey,
thou shalt not speak of 2009.
Hey,
not this week, not next week. Thou shalt not.
Hey, no, it's a narrative now. It's a narrative we need to destroy. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like, can this team do it?
All time.
Can we do it?
0-8 all time versus Montana.
All right.
Win this. 0-8 all time.
Anyway,
I think
the other very cool thing, last thing is I got to be with the Gronowskis, and you guys know we're friendly. They've been awesome people to deal with.
they are the best people.
Of course, Ryan's moment on TV. I'm never gonna forget that. That was the absolute best thing ever.
Just pure joy. I love that too.
Joy. Right.
It was. God. Okay. Well, I think that's probably a good segue to start talking teddy bears here a little bit. Should we talk to Grizz? It's been a bit. I tell you, before we do that, Chad, who do we got to hit next for our terrific sponsors here?
Well, we have Cubbies of Brookings. You know, right now we're still doing the Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation. We're raising money to help kids with cancer. So unless you like kids with cancer, you need to go donate. Alex'sLemonadeStand.org. We have Mark Gronowski, Quentin Hicks, and Brian in the lead. Actually, Brian Williams is in the lead still. I'm hearing some things that there's maybe some donations going for some of the other guys that aren't the three I just mentioned, that are happening in the background. So we need to push our guys up. We're going to be working with the Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation a little bit at the local. Anyway, Cubbies is the place to go. We got them to bring back the Italian nachos. Have you guys had those at all?
I'm a Chislik guy.
You're a Chislik guy. Oh, that's fair. I mean,
sorry. That's
no, that's fair.
Chislik
but anyway, $2 from all the sales of the Italian nachos is going towards the Alex's Lemonade Stand. I think Gus is going to have a decent sized donation at the end from Cubbies. They've been a great partner and a great sponsor, and we all know they have some of the best food in Brookings. Great place to catch a beer and a drink if you prefer something a little mixed. How about you, Parker? What's your favorite there?
Hey, my plug was going to be for the Italian nachos prior to them taking them off the menu. And so I had to find something new. So have not ventured back to the new ones. Not the new ones, no, but I've seen the picture. They look better than they were before. So I gotta get up there and try them.
So I don't know if you we'll just pretend you're a regular listener and you already know this, but that was full on B team that brought that back to Cubbies against their wishes. Basically, they spoke it into existence, and Cubbies was essentially forced to put it back on the menu, and the rest is history.
And cool enough to do so. So thank you, Cubbies. They also have some cool Frisco shirts. So if you want to check those out, they have the Scared Money Don't Make Money shirts there at Cubbies still, I believe. So
dude, hold on here. Speaking of Scared Money Don't Make Money, did you guys cover the rest of the schedule here up until Frisco last night, Chad? No. I have not watched it yet. All right. I need some hold music while I pull up.
Some hold music? I can probably find some music. Or we could talk about anything else. Like, I think I gave you...
What is on Italian nachos?
Italian nachos
give me
Italian nachos are like an Italian sausage that's put on a fried wonton with a marinara. And then they use fresh jalapenos, and then they also have what's that other ingredient? I guess maybe just mozzarella. Sorry, that's tough. Mozzarella. So the cheese, and it's fantastic.
Fritzy, but in the first round of Italian nachos, you could do the Italian beef, or you could do chicken, or you could do both. Former lineman, what do you think? Can you?
Both.
So,
you can still get those options. They do have the meat options still. They asked me when I got mine. I'm a fan of the old Chicago Italian nachos. If anybody remembers back to them, they're semi-similar, and so I like the sausage because of that. What'd you pull up there, Big D?
All right, a really old. Wrong spreadsheet. I got it. Here we go.
Yeah,
okay, so no, we're good though. Real quick. So scheduled, at least tentative here for the rest of the week. We obviously have got New Year's Eve this weekend, New Year's Day on Monday. A team. So Chad, Matt, and myself will be going on Monday to talk game prep, probably get a little bit more in depth with some Montana talk, which again we'll get into here right now in a second. Tuesday is going to be we'll call it Megapod. It'll be a kind of a cross B team, and hopefully the rest of us can join here too. So full group on Tuesday. That should be a complete shit show. And then Wednesday, Chad, they're doing Scared Money Don't Make Money on Wednesday, right? With Alex?
Sir.
Okay, so then Wednesday, Cool. So we got a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. And then Chad already mentioned it, but Saturday on location at, what's it called again? The local?
The local shacks at Austin Ranch, I think, is the full name. But just look up the local, and then it's down there in the area. It'll pop right up on Google.
All right. So we got 4 shows coming next week here to get ready for the game. All right, now moving back on to Montana, I feel like there was a handful of questions. If anybody has Montana specific stuff they want to talk here, please drop it in the comments. I missed, there was one, somebody asked what you guys...
Yeah, I'll get to it, sorry.
All right, there was some about realistic chances of Montana winning, but right, I'm curious, somebody asked JFPA-wise, what do we want the team to wear for the game? And this is a source of contention sometimes. I don't know, Parker, what do you want?
I'm going to stick with how they've been winning. I'm going to go white tops, blue jerseys, white pants.
That's the only answer.
Same as last year.
It's a clean look. I do like it. Although you guys' black helmet, I guess they're covers. Those were pretty sick this year. Those were in the mat.
Those aren't covers.
Yeah.
No, they weren't. They're full.
No, those are helmets. Those aren't covers. I was legit.
I guess I heard conflicting things then.
No. Those are for real. I was legitimately pissed. They came in last minute. I forget because I talked to somebody in facilities. Anyway, it took them to the last second to get them all put together because they came in like on Thursday or something like that. They came in really late, but. Total sidebar, and I think I brought it up before. I wanted them to go black, white, black for a road game this year, and they didn't do it. So captains next year, if anybody's listening, I really want to see that. They got to get the black, right? I mean, they've only worn them once. They got to get them again. Clearly, you guys don't agree because nobody said anything, but...
No,
I think it's
I feel like, I love that we did the black out at home, right? I kind of was surprised we didn't do the black away, but I think they were just trying to keep that black special. That's what I feel like, to be very honest with you. But like, we can't. I just don't think we can go away from the white helmets. That's what I feel like, right? So we're undefeated in the white helmets. We've never lost in them. We wore that last year and won. I think that's what our look's got to be until we're not the 1 seed where we got to wear a light color and then we just freaking icy top to bottom, all white everything. When the away team against Illinois State this year, they're like, oh, blackout. And then we're like, oh, white. Like, okay, well, we're going to play that villain card and we're going to play our game. And then you guys are going to have to deal with your blackout homecoming or whatever it was.
So I have a controversial take. Some people are on board. It's 50-50. I think when we play that other school from down south, we should be all blues. They should be all reds. No matter when, right? Just let's be blue-red. Then you're either a blue state or you're a red state. You're a blue guy or you're a red girl.
I've literally been pushing for that for as long as I can remember. Probably since 2012, right? Since we started, I just been like, play the reds versus the blues. Like, that's what you got to do. Going down to the Assembly tournament. I know that's not football. It's the same thing, right? There was the run where when SDSU basketball, men and women, and USC basketball, men and women, were both the top 2 teams. Like, it was split like that in the stands. It should have split like that on the court. Same thing now. Like, I have bothered people probably when I shouldn't have, that are higher up than what I should probably ever talk to, and said, hey, blue versus red, what are we doing? What do we got? What does it take? What do we got to do? And everybody's like, oh, it sounds like a good idea.
Right, you're like, legislator,
yeah, I mean,
man.
Let's get it done.
Yeah. I have talked to John Thune about this. I've asked him about it. I have a picture with him from last year. John Thune, what do we got to do?
It's the only appropriate thing to talk to him about.
That's right. I talked to him on the way into the stadium. I forgot he was there.
I took a picture with him, but I probably shouldn't have.
All right. So what do we got for, I don't want to give Just South Dakota any more time on this show.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. I just, again, they're just South Dakota, and they had their moment, and then it was over very quickly at the hands of the Furry Cows. So what do we have?
I told you this had come out. Here it is. Right here.
Do you want to start talking? I mean, we can talk about that. That's another thing.
All right. So question.
The 3 seed?
No, Dan, let's go. No. All right. So we got a comment here. Dan Furman. Oh. All right. As former players, how much would this mean to Jimmy and the team to slay the Montana Demon?
The last one.
So when I think about that, so that was my first year. I graduated the year before that. So I was in the transition years. There was no playoffs for me, right? So when we played NDSU the last game of the year, that was it. You're done. Go home for Thanksgiving, come back and start winter conditioning, right? With Jimmy having that be his senior year, and I'm not going to say they had it, but like they're in great position. I don't know all the deep, up 21 in the fourth or up 7 in the fourth or whatever it was. And then, Mark Mariani went bananas, right? I think that there is something, knowing Jimmy, I don't know Jimmy that well, but knowing Jimmy like I do, there's going to be a little extra, not that there could be honestly any more, but I don't think Jimmy can give any more than what he already does, but there is this much more knowing that how his career ended was against Montana in that way. Just one more reason to jump on that minus 12.5. Thank you.
Well, and I was a freshman that year. So I was a freshman that year, did not travel with the team. Again, 1 seed versus the 16 seed. That's when it was seeded up to 16. So the Jacks, got into the playoffs. And Montana was the kind of the world beater at the time, people thinking that. But I would say that SDSU football, arguably that was one of the better teams in the history of SDSU football, was that 09 class where when you had the McKnight as a junior, you had the Casey Knips, the Benders, the Koskovich on the O-line, you had the Battens, the Jimmy Rogers, etc. You can go on the list. Certainly not at the level of the teams today, but just in the grand scheme of it all. But those guys going in there and showing out for that first half, but as those guys would say, those Montana fans left the stadium at halftime, and it came out like a lion when they came back in because they went and had some cocktails.
It's legal to leave and come back at Montana, to go out, get ruined for 20 minutes.
It used to be
and then
that
come
way.
back in.
Yeah, and so, but they said they came back in and it was a different animal of an atmosphere because of that initial kickoff return to start the third quarter. And then I think that their 12th man kind of took over and probably, so overall, I think Jimmy has something to prove right now and he's excited for it. And whether it's them or any other team, Jimmy's going to prepare the way he does and is going to push the guys. But I was a freshman, and to give a plug to Cubbies, first half we watched it at the house. Second half we went down to Cubbies to have a good time and celebrate it. And so let's hope for a different scenario this time around.
Messing with the good thing, I literally didn't leave my chair for like 4 hours because I couldn't leave.
I still remember where I was at too. I was sitting at the computer, just at the desk, and what did I throw? I broke something, and I don't remember what it was. But yeah, that was it was this weird taste because I still came from an era of we wanted to make the playoffs and we're ranked a handful of times and just stuff never came together at the end of the season, and that happened for 2 or 3 seasons. And so it was like, okay, they're in the playoffs. They're going to do this. Oh my God, they can do this. This is great. And then, the juggernaut flips the switch and you just can't quite hold it together. And yeah, God, that was frustrating. But back to the Jimmy part of this, I know him less than the two of you do. And I don't know if there's one person that I would not want to piss off, I'm pretty sure it's Jimmy. You just look at that guy's intensity and his focus, and he's going to come out ready to go for sure.
Yeah. Jimmy's been like that since he stepped on campus in 2005. Nothing's different. He's literally been like that. The first day we're out doing 7-on-7, and I'm a corner still trying to figure out how to backpedal in my second year, honestly. And you get this kid comes in wearing a white Arizona Fire Department somewhere t-shirt, just like fitting people up and diving after balls and tipping balls and like going crazy. And I'm just like, man, who's this? Like, I don't know who this guy is, right? And so then you find out, oh, it's Jimmy. He's from Arizona. I was like, oh, okay. He's a safety. He's not a corner. I know that, right? So I'm like, whatever. So he's been like that since the beginning, right? There's nothing new. Everything that I've said this to people like when Jimmy was getting hired. Adam, you played Jimmy, right? Yeah. What do you think about him? I said, people going to be ready. Like there's no doubt about it. People are going to be ready to go, right? I said that before when he's defense is like, let's not worry about the defense because they're going to be ready to go because Jimmy's like running them, right? The linebackers, they're good. Okay, now the defense, they're good. Like we just keep moving up, right? So the team, guess what? How's it been this year? They're good, right? They're prepared. They're taking care of things. They know what's going on. That's just Jimmy's coming. That's just going down through. That's honestly what I believe. So, I mean, Jimmy's crazy, dude. I love
In
him.
a good way.
I love him.
Like a fox. We've not, I don't feel like, I mean, there's been some talk, Chad, you mentioned narratives, some talk about the coaching staff this year, but I don't think there's been enough about how, I mean, I get it, Steve, or, the keys to the Ferrari were left on the table, right? When Stig left, we all get that, but this coaching staff being the youngest staff in the country, the level of execution, the excellence, the fact that they haven't skipped a beat. Lujan, my God, is, I've said it on a couple of shows. I know, Fritz, you don't listen, and that's fine. But
I never listen to podcasts. I just never do it.
So I'm just giving you shit.
We're live on YouTube every week. So
yeah, there we go. You can several options to watch as well. Lujan is. We're going to be watching him winning a national championship, at an SEC school here within the next decade. I mean, he's just absolutely unbelievable. The way that guy plays. To me, when you watch an offensive coordinator, the way you can tell they're great, it's like an official when you're not aware of them at all. And that to me is the way he calls a game, right? You go back and I've mentioned this a few times, but Eck, love Eck, respect him as a coach, thought he was a great play caller. You could see Eck's fingerprints on games all the time. You never see Zach's. He just makes the right damn call and the players do it. So anyway, that was, I feel like we talk about the players. We have so many just fantastic, absolute studs on this team. I don't think this coaching staff has gotten enough credit.
Alex, if I could get your perspective, since you get to watch it from above and you get to have that analytical mind calling the game the way you do, just maybe talk about how special, how lucky we are to have the team that we have this year, experience what's been happening, and then the cherry on top of that Sunday is the game versus Albany and how much of a unicorn, how perfect that game was. Maybe you could touch on that and tell us a little bit your perspective.
Right. Well, you leave last year on a high note, right? You win the championship, man. How much more can you do? What can Mark Gronowski do? What can Isaiah Davis do? What can that offensive line, defense, et cetera, do more of? Well, a lot of changes fit, right? And it hasn't been talked about. New coaches, not at just one position, but at 6 or 7. And to be able to bring the guys back together, which talks about the leadership of the players. But secondly, being able to continuously, each week, they continue to get better, right? I mean, what more can Isaiah Davis do? He continuously improves and gets better. What does Mark Gronowski do? Same thing. And so being able to just see these guys, never being satisfied has been, I think, the most, crazy or thought-provoking, or just looking back in time of like what has been different between SDSU football today than what it was in the past. But you see all those guys across the board just continuously getting better. I mean, Mark Gronowski's been, a player of the year. He's won a national championship. What more can he do? He can continue to get better, and he has. His accuracy has gotten better. His decision-making has gotten better. You name it, it's gotten better. But when you start looking at more so of the, what happened at the Albany game, I think you see the depth of the team that's starting to come through. Let's back up one game before that. But again, these defenses are throwing everything at the offense. There was chatter of people saying that offensive line isn't getting moves, but on the radio broadcast, I was talking about just let them continue to pound the rock, because in time they're going to wear them out. And what happened in the fourth quarter, that offensive line just wears down the defense. On the other side of the ball, that defensive front wears down that offense. And that happened 2 weeks in a row. And you talk about Albany coming in with some of the highest regards from the national media, talking about how good this defensive line is. They were good. But that Jackrabbit offensive line, I think, showed out and kind of showed them exactly who SDSU football is. But again, just the consistency of getting better and really not being satisfied with a big win here or there or winning by 30. I mean, how tough would it be for you as a player? I'll turn this back to you guys. You guys have averaged beating teams by 24 points a game. And in the playoffs, you're outscoring opponents and stopping opponents. I think it's like 124 points to 23 points in the playoffs. That is top 24 teams you're going against. At some point, you feel like you might just kind of be happy with it, but they haven't done that. They just continuously roll and really get better. So that was kind of a long-winded answer, but that kind of, I think, circles it all together.
Yeah, no, great, man. I was hoping for a long-winded answer. So thank you. I just wanted your perspective on it. So
No, that's extremely well put. And again, I think I've called it professionalism because I haven't come up with a good word, but the focus and maturity of this team. And I get they're all, there's a lot of guys that have played 5-6 years at this point, but just again, that you don't see that sort of, I don't know, again, just clarity, I think, out of a bunch of college athletes very often. So, all right. I don't know what, do we have any other legitimate, I'm curious, we've heard a lot about Montana trolls, and I'm curious what you guys think. I'm a little disappointed. I thought they'd be better online, didn't you? Like, we're used to North Dakota State trolls, and I had heard so much about, like, I expected better, and it's been pretty lame to this point.
Just bring up attendance, then they'll just go crazy. They don't have nothing else to talk about.
Oh, I heard do they get people at their games? I think I heard that.
Oh yeah,
but they can't afford to send their band to Frisco.
Jesus. Montana State to send your band though.
That's got to be the most embarrassing thing I've ever heard of. Like
some Bush League shit.
Stark rival is gonna pay to send our band.
And it's one thing too if it was like $30,000, it was $3,000.
Yeah, right.
3,000. Like you had 29,000, 11 billion fans, and you got 3,000 extra out of that gate or them beer sales. They don't have beer sales, right? Sorry. Out of the anything to be like, hey, here you go, band. Why don't you get on down to Texas? Here's a couple 30 G's. Here's 30 hundreds. Good grief.
I can't. What do you think this? Sorry, I had to because we got somebody trying really hard to get us to talk about him here. What do you guys think that it's? Do you think the atmosphere will be better, worse, or similar to the North Dakota State game last year?
I think it's going to be really exciting to start with, and then I don't think it's going to be very exciting.
Well, I'm interested to see how many tickets were sold, I guess, outside of the allocations that happened. And if people are going to give those up, I'd assume at some point those are going to come back to the open market. But it's everything I know, Montana, they've got good fans. They're going to travel well. I mean, they haven't been there in 13, 14, 15 years. They're going to show up. It's going to be, but I still believe SDSU is going to dominate 60-40 probably in the stands, 70-30, somewhere in there.
We had a lot of pre-sales, I know a lot of people that bought knowing we were going back.
Well, with a great anticipation that we would, right? There's no reason why we wouldn't believe we couldn't get there. When they went on sale on September 5th, I jumped on there and got 4 because that's all I could buy. I'd have bought more if they'd let me. They wouldn't let me. I could only get 4. But I was one of many people that did that. Was Montana ready for that? Montana State? I don't doubt for a minute the Montana State folks got on there and jumped on it. Why wouldn't they? Right? It was right before they played us. Whoops.
That was, I think, where the prices got so high was they were waiting to unload them. And then obviously if you've got your rival, your rival is the one that wins, you're going to jack your price up to $1,000 and see if some idiot will pay it. So I don't know, it'll come down. And actually I feel like some other folks have mentioned this on pods before. Chad mentioned the fact that we're going to have the big screen with the game on at the tailgate. But beyond that, there is standing room only tickets that they sell that are going to be face value because they sell a ton of those. And honestly, like I had extra tickets last year. I sold them last minute for actually below face value. I had sold some extra at a decent price. And then I had a couple that I didn't get rid of until the very end. And I sold them below right before kickoff. So that you're going to be able to get into the game. It's going to be a party. You should get down there and go anyway.
Yeah. Thanks for the ticket last year.
Oh, no problem.
One last thing I'd like you guys to comment on. We were talking about atmosphere, and I don't know how it was from in the booth, Alex. So that'll be a unique perspective. But how cool was it that everybody in that crowd at the Albany game was superiorly focused on making noise and not letting them get a point? Like you could feel it. It was palatable. From my vantage anyway. How about you guys?
I did not want him to score.
Same.
I knew exactly what was going on.
Yeah, I was in the JFPA up in the end zone, and it was such a cool experience too being up there because my dad's a former player, So I got to experience with him. He was there. My daughter came, eldest daughter. She actually came back. She had wanted to watch a game all year, and she came back to hang out. My wife and I actually had her when we were still at going to South Dakota State. So having her come back and getting to share it, but yeah, the crowd was fantastic. I was happy as hell with 12-5 or whatever it was. I thought that was great. I mean, I get you want to sell out, whatever the number was. But to me, still, it is. You still have to recognize steps and progress, and we made those, and the fan base is building and building and building, and that does not happen overnight. It's not. We're not in Central Texas. That's not how this works, right? It just isn't. So, and I'm again, good job, fan base. You showed up. That was fun, and yeah, loud as hell.
Yeah,
I thought it was
people that are there want to be there.
Mine's a little skewed because they still have those microphones sitting near the fans or by the band, so that obviously plays into your headset a little more. But I tell you what, looking down and just seeing everybody is at a level 10. I mean, maybe it also helps that they're a little more lenient on bringing in the cowbells and the noisemakers, so that certainly helps. And Chad, I do sometimes hear the helmets clacking over there on the far side.
Hey. My elbow is literally still sore. I got tennis elbow from hammering it because I was hitting it harder than ever. So,
but you certainly hear the cowbells through the headset a little more when in the playoffs. But again, it's impressive to see those fans come out and people just involved in the game. Sometimes there's the people that are sitting on their hands at games, not during the playoffs. And I have to give one shout out to the pride of the Dakotas because again, holding those instruments when it's 30 degrees, 40 degrees. Not fun, but they're out there and they are rowdy and they are loud.
Yep. No, shout out to the Pride. They always do such a good job. And sorry, help me out. I'm spacing on the director's name. Kevin
Kessler.
Kessler, thank you.
Dr. Kessler does an amazing job.
Yes.
And he's an SDSU guy through and through. I mean, that's not his alma mater, but he's still an SDSU guy.
Nope.
Hey, wearing yellow pants in front of everybody, you're an SDSU guy.
There you go.
Them yellow pants, man.
Yeah, the yellow pants are awesome.
All right, so let's wrap here in a couple minutes here, but I want to talk game specifics a little bit. I don't know if you guys, I know Fritz, you said your thought was it'll be intense early and kind of fall apart. What do you think? Like, I don't know, just how do you think the game's going to go?
I think that when the game starts, it's going to be crazy. I really do, because I know that Montana's going to be there and they're like crowd people, right? And so they're going to have all the people that are there are going to be super excited. SSU showed last year that we've got people, right? We're going to come down there. We're going to be yelling. But if it goes as anticipated, right? If we play like we played against Albany, it's going to be really not that exciting when it's 59-0. If it would get to that, of course, I don't suspect it will. 59-0 is bananas to me. But I think that if SSU plays anywhere near that, in watching Montana the 2 weeks before that, not that Furman wasn't a good team and not that NDSU is also not a good team, but I guess I wasn't as impressed with them as I would have expected out of the 2 seed. But I think that if we play our game, we're going to have to do things negatively to keep Montana in the game. I think if we play a normal game for us, I think that we're going to play too good for Montana. And I think that it's going to get, I don't want to say out of hand, but I think that SSU is going to pull away and then it won't be as exciting for Montana fans, which is going to take away from the entire game atmosphere. That's what I think.
So to me, I think you gotta weather the emotion to start with, right? Because if you let everybody's going to be hyped up, right? So you're on no matter how the matchup ends up, you're on a level playing field at the start because of just the emotion, the adrenaline, everybody's ready to go. And anybody could make a mistake because that, Chris Crock will tell you, did that extra emotion sometimes will make you more likely to make a mental error. Mm-hmm. So I think to me, you have to get through that. And then at that point, it's where you let the O-line start to wear them down. They've got that terrific defensive tackle. They've got some great players, some great skill players. Some of the things, and we'll probably get to this a little bit more when we do the 18 pod on New Year's Day Eve, but I'm really curious to see what we can do to that quarterback because terrific athlete. He's a great ball player. Honestly, I enjoyed watching him. And I've also said this before, Montana's home broadcasts. I love watching Montana's home broadcasts. I always have. I don't know what it is exactly. I think it's
The background.
yeah, it's the background too. That doesn't help either, but just the stadium and the camera angles, and I've always thoroughly enjoyed watching them. Just as a college football fan, but I think he's been prone to make some mental errors, make some mistakes. You can't let him just flat out scramble, but if you can make him move around in the pocket, keep him behind the line of scrimmage, eventually he's going to do something where we can make him pay. So I think that a lot of the games have been won and lost there. And okay, so I've been waiting for this soapbox here, and I know Brendan's brought it up. Back in the spring season, I was up in the Fargo Dome and saw Watson warm up. And I said this on a podcast, there's audio evidence. And I said, if we kick to Watson, I want someone fired. And I want them hauled off the sideline during the game if we ever kick to Watson. And the reason being was because he's clearly the best athlete on the field. I guess we have great athletes, but you just don't do that. There's no reason to do that. I'm going to declare that now. Do not kick to 5. There is no reason to kick to 5. He's not Watson level athletic. He's not a first round draft pick. But when you have, Stig calls it a math problem, right? You've got somebody that has 3 damn kick returns in the playoffs. Do not kick to him. There's no reason. Don't do it. And rant. Because that's
going to kick to Tucker Large? Are they going to kick to Tucker Large?
Well, they should. They should totally kick to Tucker Large every time because they got some dudes. They can tackle them. It'll be fine. But no, that is my rant.
I love it.
Yeah. No, so that's my rant. But anyway.
But I think that brings up a good point, though. It's 3 phases. And I talked about that on the last 2 broadcasts, was the special teams were really the difference maker, I guess, to spark that for the Jackrabbits the last 2 games. They obviously have a special kick returner, and I think we do too. But I think it comes back to explosive plays. I think, number one, the Jacks have done a nice job of just limiting explosive plays to their offenses. Last 2 weeks, Jacks have had good quarterbacks they've had to go against. They've limited their ability to really get outside the pocket, extend plays on the run. They're going to bend but don't break mentality, but they're not going to give up that explosive play. And it's really hard for any offense to go 80 yards or whatever it might be on that Jackrabbit defense. And you see it every time. They get inside that 25-yard line, 20-yard line, the Jacks really tighten up, and they're still the number 1 red zone defense, I believe, in the country. So again, if they can limit those big plays, Jacks defense, that's going to be a win. Offensively, control the line of scrimmage. They're going to run that same stuff of kind of that 3-4, 3-5 look and just try to stop the run. SDCU's offense is so balanced that let Lujan just kind of start playing the conductor side of it all and just take advantage of what they're going to give you. They have to give something up, whether it's at the edges with the Yankees, whether that's going to be the tight ends. Again, we haven't seen Zach Hines much. I think last game there was a couple options that he had that were open, but they were starting to give him up. And then at some point, you're just going to let that offensive line continue to beat down on that O-line or that D-line. And Isaiah Davis is going to have another big run. A couple big runs, excuse me.
Yes. That's what I think. That's what I think.
Playoffs they say it's not a real thing, but I've seen the unicorn. He's going to get his 100. He's going to get his 100. Good luck, Montana D.
He'll get it. I personally, I don't know how many reps he's going to get. Depends on how the game goes, but I'm excited. I've been talking to Angel Johnson all year, and actually, I'm really excited to see him get the fresh legs in a little bit later on in the game, see what he can do. Because God, he's a dude. Again, talked about it in the past, but you talk about just someone that passes the getting off the bus test and how he looks. He is so strong, so athletic, and my God, he's fast. Like I'm excited to see what that dude's got.
Bro, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Tell me I'm wrong. That's exactly right, dude.
Oh, we've done pretty good giving people nicknames that have stuck here. So can we steal that?
We're gonna steal
Sonic. Okay.
That's literally what it reminds me of, right? He gets out there and it's just like tick, 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 tick.
He is. Okay.
That's the ring. Go get the ring. And then
we need Ben to make a video with that. Yep.
Yeah, Ben, if you're watching, yeah. All right. Well, I did want to mention you guys have your guys' gear store.
Yeah.
People can go check that out. There's caps. You guys got men's and women's different.
It's a 605 Hogs. Like it's a party. That's a new shirt that's in there. That's a new
Yeah,
shirt
It's a
that
Party's
we came
pretty
up
rad.
with.
I'll pull that
It's
one
a
up.
party shirt with the boombox. Those
Ryan
right
does a
there.
real good job with a bunch of these logos.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean that's kind of fun, obviously.
Knutson,
to have
I should say.
that song. Yeah. 2 Ryans.
Nice.
But yeah, that's
Grove
kind of fun.
Street.
The 605
Yeah.
Hog shirt. I know I've seen that on
My
I think it's on
internet's
Twitter,
slow. Sorry.
Facebook or somewhere. The 605 Hog shirts, like that's a JFPA shirt. And like I
Twitter,
said, it's a party shirt. It's a party. It's a party. It's a party.
Grove Street Party has been played way too many times at my house this year. It's hit the rotation for sure. All right,
Absolutely.
So okay,
I feel like
so
we're gonna hear it one more time this year.
oh my god, I can't wait.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So JFPA, get to the website, get your gear in by the end of the year, right? It was the 31st. I'm sorry, Chad, I wasn't paying attention when you were talking. Right? That what it was? 31st?
Yeah, the 31st.
Yeah, 4 days.
So
All right. You got a few days. So do that.
31st.
Now, all right. And after you do that, if you're a JFPA member, make sure you get over to Jackrabbit Central. Anybody and everybody, get your gear for Frisco. Stop in. I don't know. We probably should have asked them if they were bringing stuff down this year.
I'd be
I
surprised
haven't
if
heard
they
of a
didn't
pop-up. We
sometimes.
should.
I'd be
We
surprised
should
if
have
they
a
didn't.
pop-up of
Okay.
some kind.
Okay, so we should give them a call on our production meeting. We'll give them a call tomorrow and make sure we know that by and see when the cutoff is. Because they did that for me before, and it was amazing. They brought things down. It was such good service. So otherwise, no matter what, get your gear. Jackrabbit Central. I was there last week, got myself a new hat, and I got home and realized every one of my hats looks basically the same. But this one is awesome. I've got so many trucker caps with the heat embossed emblem on the front. But no, this one's awesome. Got the black. And Chad, hold on. I don't want to mess with my headphones here, but you can see, Chad, I took the cardboard out because I'm not a serial killer.
You're lame. Lame. That's all I gotta say.
But no, get over to Jackrabbit Central.
You can't leave the cardboard in, dude. Come on.
Oh, this has been a source of contention.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's how you
right.
Don't even show
hats
people.
crisp,
Don't
Fritz.
show people. Don't show
How you
people
keep your
that.
hats crisp.
That's embarrassing. My grandpa leaves them in his too. Yeah.
Well, his hats look good for longer than yours.
His hat looks sharp and crisp on the top.
There you
Spray him
go.
in that.
I'm about that crispy hat, man. I mean, this
all right, fine. Okay, fine. I concede.
this is a finesse and grind right here. That's a totally special. I do not wear it outside of this podcast because it's yellow, man.
True. All
You wore
right.
it last
So,
year at the Summit League.
What's that?
You wore it last year at the Summit League.
Oh, I probably did. Yeah.
You-
I probably made that mistake once. I was afraid I got it dirty. Someone's asking where they can get tickets. Let me tell you, wait till the day of the event to buy them. They're gonna just fall in price. You'll be able to get standing room if nothing else. There's not a bad seat in that venue. So
yep, agreed. All right, before we wrap here, guys, anything else we need to cover? I think we're good.
well, I think we end one way normally, don't we?
I got something.
You're gonna lead us up. Oh, Fritz has got something.
Damn it!
Is he gonna chug a beer?
I don't have any.
Well,
I would
listen,
do
on
it.
that, I was going to say, hey, keep spreading the good word, guys. The Jacks Illustrated stuff, get the name out. I appreciate all the time and efforts you guys put into it.
No, dude, it's a lot of fun. You talk about JFPA getting to give back, and that's exactly what this is. It's a way to give back, feel involved, and do some good things for the team because those guys are working hard and they deserve it. And it's fun watching just this school grow and progress. There we go. We knew it, and I wish I had one, and I don't. It's in the
Somebody hit
garage.
record.
All right, we got this. The only way to celebrate.
So this is how we celebrate wins, right?
Yep,
My first ever podcast. Let's celebrate a win, huh?
that's a big deal.
Let's go.
All right, so all right, you do that, and we'll finish at the same time. All right. So you're
So
ready?
every time that I do this, I have a bunch of stupid stuff that I say probably 3/4 under the influence, and then I always say, "Hey, we'll see you in Frisco. Go Jacks."
All right, go big, go blue,
Go
go Jacks.